across the sea.
Oh no!
Is the mic on?
Yeah, it's been on.
Tim, you sneaky devil. All right, sit on down and we'll get started. Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? I am doing well. This is Heather for Kotaku.com.
Yeah, look at this.
A website about video games, Tim, and this is...
Yeah, we're playing Shenmue.
Yeah, I'm here with Tim Rogers. We're playing Shenmue.
So, everybody's either played this game or they've been, okay, so the Amazon.com store page for Shenmue 1 and 2 collection for PlayStation 4 and Steam and whatever else it's on. The number one thing it says is Sega's most requested remaster of all time is here.
They've not heard me beg for Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, they're talking about how this is the most requested remaster ever. So when Shenmue 3 was announced,
yes,
I recall an avalanche of internet commentary that was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh yes."
Well, that happened at the same time they announced the remake of Final Fantasy VII. That was 2015. That was one hell of an E3.
Yeah, except Shenmue 3 is... Okay, it's not a bigger deal than a Final Fantasy VII remake, which is weird. It's an original game. Shenmue was intended as 3 games, right?
There were supposed to be many chapters of Shenmue.
I thought there were supposed to just be 3.
Maybe 3 games, but I think in terms of the idea for what constituted Shenmue was like 18 chapters based upon however they wanted to spread it out amongst those games.
3 was supposed to be much bigger than...
Yes, it was supposed to be a lot bigger than 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, like, when 3 was announced, and they're working on 3...
They announced the release date today, I believe the 27th of August next year.
27th of August next year, a little over a year from now.
A little bit.
I'm going to tell you what, it took me almost a year to beat Shenmue 2.
It's okay. I like Shenmue 1 a lot more than I like Shenmue 2. I still like Shenmue 2.
Oh, Shenmue 2 is incrediable, but I hate it.
So just background for people who maybe don't know these games as much. So this was released in 1999 in Japan, 2000 in America. It's sort of an adventure game, an exploration game. It's made by, directed by Yu Suzuki, who is hashtag a big deal.
Yu Suzuki is a craftsman of many video games that resemble the perfect fulfillment of young boy wishes.
Yes, if you have a love of certain arcade games, if you love Hang On, for instance, that is Yu Suzuki.
So his games up until this point had been arcade games,
very much arcade games.
And they were games that scratched an itch immediately. For example, do you want to drive a red convertible? That's Outrun.
Do you want to fly a jet?
That's Afterburner.
That's Afterburner.
Do you want to be a weirdo in cartoon space? That's Space
Harrier.
So him wanting to make a big full-scale adventure game, and he was one of the pioneers of 3D graphics.
Really had a good thing going. In fact, when this game was being released, the marketing, and if you look it up on YouTube, you can probably find it in some sort of Dreamcast magazine demo disc. They didn't want to call it like an adventure game or something. They called it free.
Yeah, fully reactive eyes entertainment.
Full reactive eyes entertainment.
So an interesting thing about that is every video game in Japan released ever, including like today.
Yes.
The back of the box, there's a little info box that that is something like a video game magazine would have, where it's like, here's, how many players is it? Is there violence in it? Does it have 10 levels?
Sort of like an ESRB type thing.
There's always a genre, right? Mm-hmm. So somebody wishes the game was on the Switch.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Everybody does. I don't know. You can't play fully reactive eyes entertainment when you're on the bus. You've got to be you got to be playing it on your TV.
Yeah.
So
tell me about the box thing, and then I'll talk about the story.
They always have the genre is always a weird, creative name. Right. It's always some sort of weird, like funny. Some sort of weird, funny genre name.
Yes.
I mean, like stylish hard action for Devil May Cry.
This was definitely a huge. This was definitely a huge thing, though, because I had never, in terms of actually having that stuff carried over to American marketing, had never really heard it. For the opening stuff, for those of you who do not quite grok what is happening here, this is Landi. He's mean and evil, and he's about to kill our father, and then we will have revenge. I said revenge. That's the name of the man he killed in Mungsun.
Landi is Chinese for blue earth.
Yes, you were telling me that earlier.
I was a student majoring in classical Chinese literature at the time.
Landi showed up to kill our father, and he also asked for a mysterious mirror.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to know about the story.
Yeah.
And
So
then we're gonna find him, but we're also going to play arcade games and get like a bunch of gotcha toys.
So yeah, Londi wants this thing.
He talks like this. So you know
I'm gonna
evil.
go ahead and say the plot in this game is like utter trash.
It's like
no offense to it.
No,
It's filthy garbage.
it's just here's a bad guy, here's a MacGuffin, here are maybe some other dudes that get in the way. I like the flow of talking from person to person. The star of this game is not the story.
The story and the themes are the trash.
No, it's
the world building is perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Londi, not good. We have the original English acting here that was on the Dreamcast as well. I think
you can play the game in Japanese.
Yes.
Interestingly, if you do choose to play the game in Japanese, it sounds like the audio was not recorded in a tin can during a blizzard.
Yes.
The way it sounds.
Sounds a little bit better.
I mean, this sounds like digitized NES voices.
So some people are asking, is Shenmue 2 better? Here are my thoughts. I like Shenmue 1 better than Shenmue 2 because Shenmue 2 starts to get really big and add really big fight scenes that I don't think work.
Yeah, they don't work.
How close is this game to the Yakuza series? Similar, but Yakuza has a lot more. So if this makes any sense for a point of reference, this is an open world sort of adventure game mixed with Virtua Fighter. And then Yakuza has always been an open world adventure game mixed with Streets of Rage. Has been how I've intellectualized it. So they're similar, but
this is this is an open world game before that was really a concept mixed with Virtua Fighter.
And when you tell people this is open world, they're like, "Oh, it's so small," but at the time, this is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, open world is a phrase with a lot of baggage. People hear open world, they think you're definitely going to be able to like ride a horse across a giant plain, or you're going to be able to ride a car down a highway. But
you're the Dragonborn.
Yeah, but this is open world in like the fundamentally truest sense.
Oh, I'm gonna spend a lot of time going around the house and picking
up. So one thing that's
brickbacks.
very revolutionary in this game is you'll see like when they showed the mailbox a minute ago. It like actually says the name on the mailbox.
Right.
So this is one of the earliest examples of that level of environmental storytelling where the words
you could really see what the things were.
Yeah, where you're not pressing a button to open a menu.
So there's a moment that's going to come up later on, spoiler alert, where an old lady has us find a house.
Yeah, that's very soon, actually.
I think she's what house is she looking
Matsumoto
for?
or something?
Something like that. When we go through Yamanose. And I think that's probably one of the things where they were like, hey, look at all the detail. Let's have this old lady make you look for the things.
It was clearly in there. I mean, that's kind of these games in a nutshell is look what we can do if we made a game like this. If we made a game like this, we could have missions like this. It feels like every single challenge, every single set piece, every single cutscene, every single fetch quest is like a placeholder for here's the kind of thing we could do if we wanted to do.
It feels like this game has a lot of statements it wants to make sometimes.
It proves a lot of concepts that games would then take 20 years to actually explore. So that's nice. But on the other hand, it's like
all the phone numbers.
His notebook that he carries around, you can flip through the pages.
You can do. It helps you know what your objective is, just like like having your notebook in Morrowind. Londi murdered my father.
This mechanic so it's like a diegetic notebook. He's carrying it around.
Whenever
in his pocket.
You learn new stuff, more stuff will appear in the notebook.
So he'll write in there. So that mechanic was later implemented in Uncharted.
Ramble for a moment, just very briefly, to say that one of the things that I actually do appreciate about Shenmue's world building and design, which is something I actually wrote an article about today, is the fact that it really takes a certain extreme joy in letting you interact with even the smallest, weirdest thing. I don't think there's a point here of me looking at the alarm clock other than to say, oh, look, we have a clock and it's working and there's like day and night or whatever.
That's matching to the scale. Yeah.
Right, and I can't do anything with that. But also, like, a lot of the things you'll find in Shenmue are going to be, for instance, cassette tapes that you can just put into your Walkman. Although it probably isn't branded as a Walkman.
Oh, it sure isn't, no.
No way. But then also, a lot of it's like mementos. So we're going to go, what is it, the second drawer here, I think should be a photo of our friends? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like those little touches.
Nozomi.
Nozomi.
Man, Nozomi gets totally cold-shouldered by this dude.
It's true.
He's just not interested. You got this girl named Nozomi who likes you in this game, and he just... Notebook is labeled Master System, which is funny.
And then she has to go back
Sega
to Canada,
reference.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Let's grab this for sure.
Oh, this is Sega brand.
Sega brand.
It's a Sega.
Cassette tape player.
Yeah. Sega didn't actually make a cassette player. I looked into this at one point in my life.
Yeah. But when I'm talking about sort of those, not necessarily empty interactions in the sense that they don't necessarily grant you useful items that you need or something, but nevertheless help ground you in a place, it's like...
Jean jacket you can't wear.
Oh, what is like in some game nowadays would be like, that's where I go to change my outfit, Mafia 3 style or whatever. And like, oh, Lincoln Clay needs to look different today. But instead it's just like, here are shirts.
Endless white shirts.
I'm kind of pretty into it. And I think, is the Sega Saturn in here?
Yeah.
The Sega Saturn that he shouldn't have?
There's a Sega Saturn on the floor in the
in the other
one
room.
of the side rooms.
Yeah. So he has a Sega Saturn, even though this takes place, I think, in like, what did it say at the start? Like 1987?
My buddy, 86?
Something around there.
My buddy Eric Wensky is in the chat here. First of all,
Hey.
Eric Wensky, how you doing?
Hi, Eric.
Eric Wensky, developer of the game Capsule Force, and something new. I don't know what the new one is.
86, so I was off by a year.
So, yeah, 86. So Eric Wensky's a Sega expert, and he's saying that there's no Coke or Timex branding in this game.
Oh,
they took it out.
They took it out for
Yeah.
the remake. That's really a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I was at a Beams store in Taiwan
Yes.
last week, and Beams is a Japanese brand store that Ryo Hazuki would love because it sells a lot of simple
things.
militaristic stuff.
So this is Ine-san.
And they had these beautiful Timex watches that were straight up 1986 Timex watches, and I was going to buy one, and then I didn't. I really should have.
If we got enough allowance money from Ine-san, we could
Go buy a Timex watch.
buy a Timex watch. I'm going to explore a ton of the little bric-a-brac spots in this house, at least to get some of the stuff that I really like.
Go pick a couple of things up.
I know this.
So, yeah,
I know this house as good as I know my own house.
So
that I grew up
you
in.
know something is wrong with your video game when the reviewers say things like, I spent 2 hours just walking around the house.
No.
And it's like, no, trust me. It means there's something wrong with your game. The reason the game has so much stuff in the house for you to pick up is because it's scared that it doesn't have enough stuff outside of the house.
I suppose. I think I enjoy just being able to be in a place.
Oh yeah, well it's a cool place. I like it, man. I like it.
I do know what you're saying in terms of maybe weighing itself down and not
It's an
letting
omen.
it, like not letting it be the thing that maybe it wants to be as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also I want to point out that Ryo Hazuki would be wearing these are like
This is
no-label Levi's
Note from his dad.
jeans, which so he lives in Yokosuka in 1986.
Yes, he
and
does.
I
We
grew
get
up
to go to the harbor in this game.
I grew up all around the place in military bases. Right. So I've been to Yokosuka military base. Oh my god,
This is his father. Live for one's convictions, die for one's convictions.
So Yokosuka and then the whole of Kanagawa, which is south of Tokyo.
Yes.
There's this culture at the time in the 80s, the military fashion was huge. Military fashion was huge. So he would be wearing these Levi's 501s from America, which is like, if you were a teenager and you weren't wearing those, you were going to get kicked into the lake, you know? So he's got the high waist, like 12-inch rise
he's got
jeans,
him going.
the white shirt. He is wearing a U.S. Air Force A2 jacket, which is it's a horsehide jacket.
I kind of want that jacket.
You can get one from the Toyo Industries is a Japanese company headquartered in Yokosuka, Japan.
Oh, nice.
So Toyo Industries specializes in remakes of U.S. military clothing and remakes of Levi's jeans. So you can actually buy a U.S. Army Air Force from their Buzz Rickson label,
Right.
A2 horsehide jacket with a tiger on the back.
I love it.
It's the exact same embroidery.
I will say this about how I was talking about how I kind of like the clutter. Every now and then the game will give you something interesting. This is actually, you can find martial arts scrolls that give you things.
So learning your martial arts techniques for like the 2 fights that you get to do in the game.
There's a lot of things in here. Maybe we'll talk about quick time events when we get to them. I don't.
Oh,
mind.
there's going to be one pretty soon.
I do not. You're thinking about when they kick the soccer ball, right?
Yeah.
I think we see the cat first, and then.
Oh, that stupid cat.
I'm trying to open the drawer here because there's also something I want in this drawer.
Oh, yeah. I love how when you're looking at something, you become like a
Yeah.
disembodied spirit.
Well, one thing I actually do like when you're in first person is that like the head doesn't completely stay still. Like Ryo doesn't completely 100% obey your commands in a way that I think is really cool. It's clumsy and a pain in the ass, but also I feel more like I'm inhabiting a character's body than just controlling like a video game dude, and I like that.
Archer Sagawa asks I'm no offense, it's a flippant question. Ryo's not what wash will his jeans have? How blue will they be? They're going to be the same jeans, man. Here's the thing. If you're a teenage boy in the 80s from Yokosuka, Japan, you own one really good pair of handmade denim jeans, which is what he has.
That's all you own.
And he will never change them, never wash them. So
covered in mud,
in other words,
it's just going to be dirty, super janky.
I don't think the wash will have faded because the wash on these hand-dyed jeans takes years to fade and crack. So I think it's going to be about the same color in Shenmue 3. That's my prediction.
It's pretty good. So we're just going to do some of the morning busy work stuff. To progress the story, we got to talk to Fukusan, our good friend Fukuhara-san.
Fukuhara, man, look at him walking out. Oh, yeah. I love how we've had to wait now 17 years to see the continuation of the story that is...
everything okay?
Oh, we got Matt Warbuck says, I'm a 44-year-old from Texas. I own one pair of awesome jeans and never changed them. Small world.
Are you Ryo Hazuki?
First of all, good job, buddy. Second of all, what jeans are you? No, your jeans, they don't smell bad. Yeah, hang them up. Yeah, hang them up, man.
There are a couple of small things that are different. Like the text at the bottom of the screen is much cleaner.
Yeah, someone was saying that they don't like that it's a different pixel font.
It has a different...
Or it's not a pixel font.
It's a little cleaner and a little bit more no-nonsense.
It's better.
Well, I think it was literally just papyrus.
So, yeah, it was papyrus rendered in...
Papyrus everywhere.
Rendered in a few pixels.
Which I find charming in a certain sense.
I guess anyone watching can see that the cutscenes switch to 4:3 aspect ratio, and then the game is 16:9.
When we play, we can put it in 16:9.
So you can actually choose to play the game in 16:9.
The correct way.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
But
I like the original.
I feel like we don't even need to mess with the option because you can see what 4:3 looks like. This is what 4:3 would look like.
Yeah, we were going to go back and forth. I like doing stuff in original aspect ratios as much as I can.
Do you mean back and forth or back and 4:3?
Oh, dude.
So
you're killing me.
I think this 16:9 is good because it's. I feel like they had access to the source code of the game, and
now we got to find.
It's good, true.
Where Londi meant, but we're also gonna have a detour where a kid's gonna be like, "Hey, Ryo, look at the cat, Ryo."
Okay, so this is the religious experience of coming down the hill. Just take it nice and slow.
It's really nice. There's a mode in this game. So sometimes the weather is dynamic, and there's another mode that actually emulates the weather reports
in real life.
In real life for 1986 Yokosuka.
I love it.
Which that's such a silly little thing, but I love it.
That camera cut is very good. That's very modern 3D game to cut the camera to the exact location of Ryo's 3D head.
Yeah.
You know.
So Megumi's gonna talk to us about a cat. At the time, they made a big fuss about this cat too. They were like, "Oh, you can like feed things." I don't know.
Sure.
Guess what? I'm gonna confess this live on the internet.
Do you not like cats?
I don't like cats.
Oh boy.
And also, cats in media do absolutely nothing for me.
I'm sorry, man.
So when this cat was like the cat,
they spend a lot of time in the scene on this cat. I don't know.
After this scene, I never looked at the cat ever again.
I mean, I respect this game for sticking to its guns with the cat, but even on replays, I'm just like,
I grew up in a house with a cat, very allergic to cats. I had friends who have cats. If you have a cat, your house smells like turds. I'm sorry, it just does. It's like I accept that. I grew up in a house that stank like turds.
It's okay.
So it's like I just prefer to not have turds in my house.
I think most people probably prefer that as well. So now we're gonna see what the deal is with the cat, but also we're finally going to walk around the rest of Yamanose.
Eric Wensky is telling us that he just was talking to my buddy Brent Porter. And he says, Brent Porter was like, how do you get rain in Shenmue? And he said, go check the 1986 weather report.
I was listening to this dialogue in Japanese, and it's surprising how much, like, it's mostly the same, but some of the cadences and some of the playful, I don't know. Like, I've never really sat down and listened to, like, a kid just talk in Japanese until this morning, at least in a game, and it's kind of different.
It's a little different. I notice parents in Japan tend to speak full sentences to their children more than American parents do. American parents treat their children like they're dogs or cats.
Well, this was a lot of there weren't a lot of pronouns. It was a lot of like they were always saying their name.
Always saying their name.
It was never like Watashi or something. It was like Megumi-kun or whatever.
In Japanese, 90% of the time, the pronoun you want to use is no pronoun at all.
Yeah.
You want to structure your sentence in a way that the person understands what you're saying, or just use their name.
I guess I just had never really picked up on it listening. And then then I heard a kid do it, and I was like, oh yeah, of course.
They're kids. She refers to herself as Megumi.
All the time.
Yeah. So just to point out, everybody, yes, you can put the audio into Japanese.
Yeah, you can. It's but this is at this point Corey Marshall's performance as Ryo Hazuki is legendary.
So Ryo Hazuki, when Shenmue 3 was announced, fans on the internet raged hard.
What's gonna happen? Who's gonna
to get him to do the voice of Ryo?
And he's back.
And it's like,
it's weird.
So first of all, when that Shenmue 3 went up and everyone was like, oh, I can't wait to play Shenmue 3, dude. I recall seeing a lot of people be like, now I've got to play Shenmue 1 and 2.
You don't have to necessarily, but I think you should.
So here's what I'm going to say. If you're going to play Shenmue 3, like this is my stance, and you can disagree with me, but I'm telling you all this. Don't play Shenmue 3 unless you've played 1 and 2. I just don't see why
that's
you
fair.
would.
I mean, like, it's weird jumping into
And I mean,
that.
you can do them now. They're here.
They're
don't
right here.
play Shenmue 2 unless you've played Shenmue 1. It's like, here's the worst conversation I've ever heard in my life.
This one right here, they're having right now. No.
I
know beat for beat all of this. They're gonna tell me to go find. They're gonna tell me to find Yamagishi-san.
Aside from every conversation in this game, the worst conversation you can ever hear is two people talking about the Godfather movies, and one of them goes, "Oh, just watch Godfather 2, dude. That's the good one."
No, watch it all.
I actually wish someone who if someone says that, I wish they just weren't allowed to watch movies.
Somebody says, wait until you meet Tom.
Oh, Tom rules. I love Tom.
Tom is an interesting character. He teaches you how to punch and kick, and he sells hot dogs.
The weather was awful.
It's so funny to have these conversations.
In the UK, they released Shenmue 2 on Dreamcast.
They did, but we didn't get it.
That was the version I played.
Did not get it.
We didn't get it. And they released it in Japanese with English subtitles.
We got it on the
Xbox. Yeah,
which was not that great.
Bought that too. Shenmue 3's got some real garbage in it.
So here's the old lady who's gonna be like, I forget what house she's.
Positive Touch says if Shenmue 3 has a recap video, you can skip the other ones. No.
What?
You need to experience the full
both
brunt
you and I
of
knew
it.
exactly our feelings on that.
So there's some schoolgirls.
They're rude kids in this game, a lot of them.
Oh, the Yamamoto. She's trying to find the Yamamoto.
Oh, Yamamoto. I think it's right across from the park.
Oh, do you want me to read it for you without you having to press the button?
Well, let me get to the place where I'm almost 99%. I know exactly what it is because I've played this game about 10 times.
And then I'll confirm
and then
for
you.
You
Can confirm it for me.
I'll confirm for you.
Yeah, that can work. I think it's literally across from the park that we send her to. And then Yamagishi-san's actually at the other end. So I'm going to talk to Yamagishi first.
So
he's over here.
Where are those schoolgirls? Are they in the next? Are they in Dobuita?
They're in Dobuita.
Yeah, they're in Dobuita. Okay, so
along with everybody else, because Nozomi's in Dobuita, the cool dude who sells jackets is in Dobuita. All sorts of good stuff.
Yeah. So that's I'll pick up on my my jacket conversation.
Yeah, put a pin on it, and we'll come back to it.
So this guy right here is wearing I love
him.
A classic military jacket as well.
I love Yamagishi.
So you'll notice
he teaches you a kung fu move later.
So Yu Suzuki says that this game is based on his own youth growing up in Yokosuka, and how much of that is true, I don't know, because he wasn't 16 years old in 1986. Right? I mean, he was making a video game in He was making Outrun in 1986.
Came out.
Yeah, came out Run. So he man. He says it's based on like his own youth, and you can tell. So I took one creative writing class in college.
Yes.
And I remember this. Every single story was like. I also took one acting class.
Well, we gotta stop for 1 second here because we gotta. You have to.
So here's the. Here he's gonna say.
Maybe just one more.
We need to hear him say, "Maybe I should get another."
Maybe I should get another.
Maybe I should get another, I think, is the classic line.
It's a really good one. What do I got? Something good? Tails?
And in Shenmue 2, it's like worse. He's like, maybe I should have some more fun.
Ready?
Is that Bean?
Wait for it.
That's Bark. Oh, here it comes. That ominous sound.
I should try again.
Oh, no.
Well, we gotta try.
We gotta go until he says,
we
maybe I should get another.
I love collecting capsule toys in this game.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's stupid. It's so fun, though. Maybe we'll get Bean to go with Bark.
So this is what I'm saying about, it's just some trash. 16 tons.
Bull crap.
Yeah, here it comes.
Ready, wait. Ready to get it?
Let me hear it.
Maybe I should get another.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
The classic line.
Another.
Maybe I should get another. So, what was I saying? Yu Suzuki, his childhood experiences, one creative writing class, one acting class. In an acting class, like there's an exercise where you have a phone, and it's like pretend to have a phone conversation.
SPO.
Every male in the acting class picks up the phone and goes, "Where's the money? Bring me the money." Right?
Yes.
And then every male in the creative writing class wrote a story where somebody like gets punched in the face at the end. But it's clearly
this guy.
It's clearly like their life, like their college life, except instead of college they say the office, and instead of,
So I'm pretty sure.
And somebody gets punched.
What is that? That's not Yamamoto, is it?
Well, you can hold it still.
It's hard to.
That is Yamamoto.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yamamoto.
And you have to look at it, and then he goes, "Oh, that's where the lady was looking."
Yeah. See, in Japanese,
Yeah,
doesn't do that.
Yamamoto.
So yeah.
Go get that lady.
So this feels very much like Yu Suzuki in Creative Writing 101. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
'Cause
you can say that. I still love this.
There is undeniable familiarity with the environs of Yokosuka, right?
Of course.
Clearly, he grew up in Yokosuka because he does know all about
There's
Yokosuka.
a definite like clear sense of
a ring of truth
of place and feeling.
Yeah, but then it's like when it comes time for this game to have a story, it's not
as good.
It's like, oh man.
Eventually, they're like, I guess there's a biker gang who kidnaps people.
There's a kung fu master from China dressed up like he's from China. He shows up from China.
There's like
kills his dad.
There's like a sort of zombie man, golem dude who fights you. Chai.
The game starts with a dynamic murder in a flashy wushu fashion in which our main character's dad dies. Daddy's dead, and then
our revenge tale
the
gets
rest of the game
for a little bit.
The rest of the game is he's just like, oh, okay, hold on. Don't talk to them yet.
They're the worst.
So
I hate them.
I'm going to go ahead and say, forget everything I said, this game made me a better person.
Okay.
This game came out in 1999.
Yes.
I was 19 years old. I'd had a girlfriend for like a year and a half at this point. I would, at some point in the future, not have that girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Let's not talk about why not.
I'm sorry, Tim.
These girls.
There's a biker.
These girls helped me. So just talk to them.
They're not
Everyone,
nice.
everyone listen. Everyone listen.
They're so mean.
Excuse me.
Huh? Who the hell you think you are?
Now talk to her.
Got a minute?
Huh? Get out of my space, schoolboy.
They're so mean, Tim.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, okay, first of all, in Japanese, their word choice is different,
Well, hold on.
right?
Well, hold on, Tim.
Oh, can we switch the game to Japanese audio?
When we need to do our own miniature founded translation.
Oh no, does it? Okay.
Yeah, so it should be fine.
Talk
So
to
let's go to
do them in the same order.
Let's go to this first rude girl. And then,
Okay, let's go.
and then what we got?
Jama. Wow. Okay, talk to her again.
Yeah, hold on. It's so hard to move around in this game sometimes.
Kochiga kigen wari in da.
So that said, how is that in the English
So
properly?
they're using profane Yakuza slang,
Good.
right? So this tells me many things.
How many times was he just called a Yaro?
This tells me that Yu Suzuki had at one point in his life exactly one emasculating experience after hitting on a girl. And because of that man's emasculating experience, I, in my life, am proud to say
Yes.
I have had zero experiences getting yelled at by a girl on the street because I talked to her on the street.
Let alone
Because I have never.
a school kid who yells at you like a Yakuza.
I have never talked to a random woman on the street.
You know what?
In my entire life.
Good for you, buddy.
Because of this game. I was a white man growing up in Indiana in 1999.
God,
okay?
I'm sorry.
Right? It might have happened.
Might have
had
happened.
it not been for this game.
It's true. He saved you. He saved you.
Yu Suzuki saved me.
A wonderful, maybe not so wonderful experience. It's not Coca-Cola this time.
It's not, no.
It's a bummer.
Oh, it's Bell Woods Cola. Wait.
It's Jet Cola.
He just drinks those. He stands by the vending machine.
Yeah, he just chucks them down.
When I moved to Japan, I'm not going to lie, I drank a Coke in the airport, standing next to the vending machine, and then I dunked the can into the garbage can next to the vending machine because of this game.
Oh, that was real good. Delicious.
Cola is so delicious, one of your eyes involuntarily closes whilst consuming it.
Random pedestrians in this game are just not great.
Hanashi wa ato da. So even in Japanese, I just want to point out, they're saying like really unnatural, weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk. I'll talk to you later. It's like, what? I think, who is this guy? Like, is that how you would respond to somebody you don't know on the street?
But here's Nozomi.
Oh, he calls her Harasaki.
Harasaki.
Yeah, her last name. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, he's asking about the car. Splasher with mud, dude. It's a bummer.
Okay, so there you go. So, yeah, even in Japanese, the writings.
It's a little stuff.
So he calls her Harasaki, which is just her last name. No san, no kun, no diminutive, no suffix. It indicates to us, without saying anything, that they went to high school together.
There you go.
Like, you only do that with someone you go to high school with or you work together. And clearly they don't work together because Ryo's not in that flower shop right now.
Flower shop.
Yeah.
Kiryu looks different, someone says. So we got to go talk to Tom.
Do you want to put the English back on?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was about to do. I accidentally hit. It turns out the start button does not take you to the options. It takes you to that. Also, we could go to the Tomato Mart and listen to the catchy music. Give me 1 second.
So, when I'm thinking about fiction writing, like structuring a story.
1 second, Tim. We gotta listen to the.
Oh, yeah. Written by Yuzo Koshiro.
All right,
did you know that this is by Yuzo Koshiro?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
He wrote a bunch of the tracks. He wrote the main theme and I think like one of the Tomato Mart songs.
I did not realize that he also wrote the Tomato Mart stuff, though.
They had like 20 composers in here.
Good.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Yuzo Koshiro.
There's one guy. There's the other guy. Where's it? Oh,
so,
no, it's the other jacket shop where it's
So in Dobuita,
yes.
in Yokosuka, there is a shopping street. They call this a Shotengai. It means a shopping street.
I want to go.
If you ever go to Japan, have you ever been to Japan?
No, I've not.
Oh, you got to. You played Shenmue, you played Yakuza, you got to.
I know, I have to.
You know what?
It's on my list.
Let's just go ahead and say it's going to happen.
All right, well, let's talk to Tom for a minute.
Yeah, okay, Tom's ridiculous.
Hey, Ryo!
Okay, so what Tom tells me. Tom tells me something interesting. Tom is a foreigner, right?
No, I don't remember.
Yes.
Oh, if we were to put his voice into Japanese, we might hear that he speaks Japanese with a ridiculous accent.
Well, we can try in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
For people who have not experienced Tom before, sells hot dogs, teaches you a tornado kick near the end of the game. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, the tornado kick.
We're playing it on the PC. Well, no, actually,
we're playing on
PS4.
We're
playing on PS4. That's right. I was playing on PC earlier this morning.
Something Chinese.
So all these people are not telling us anything helpful right now besides the fact that we saw a car, maybe he was wearing clothing that looked Chinese. We spend a lot of time at the start of this game being like, walking up to people and go, hello, can you tell me about the Chinese?
Well, Tom is telling me that Yu Suzuki had a casual acquaintanceship with exactly one foreigner during his teenage years.
Just one guy.
Just one guy.
They tell you, try asking Chinese people about Chinese.
This is the kind of guy that you would have seen in Yokosuka in the 1980s. Because you're going to notice all these shops, and this is actually unique to Yokosuka, are clothing stores.
Yeah, they're pretty
And a
legit.
lot of it is American clothing because the Navy base is right there.
Right.
It's a huge Navy base.
So I'm going to talk to Tom in Japanese for
J-Tom.
Somebody also, for a quick second, is asking if mouse and key works well on the PC. I had trouble with it to the point that I needed to grab a controller, but I've also played this game like hundreds of times with the controller. So
you've got all the habits.
Yeah, it was really hard.
I'm going to go ahead and say if you've never played this game. Oh, it's still in English.
Oh, what? I thought I changed it. God damn, Paul.
So
Why'd I blame Paul for that? That's so mean.
Yeah, if you've never played this game at all, none of the controls actually really work that
No, they're
well.
really weird. Okay, so let's
all right, let's hear it.
move for a second and then talk to... Oh, God, controlling this game's so bizarre.
Oh, I don't... Oh, let's...
Nothing.
Did you hear that?
Nothing.
He spoke English.
What? Slow down. This is Kurita-san. I like this guy.
Okay, so Kurita-san's neat because he runs a
Like, he has
military jacket
like a
store.
surplus store. It's
Yeah.
great.
So he's wearing a... that's like a... This would be like a Vietnam era
He's
U.S.
super-
Army jacket.
He's got a lot of sass for a character in a 1999 kind of rough poly adventure game. He's got a nice little smirk going.
Yeah, these characters remarkably all have personalities.
It's actually, yeah, it's really surprising. And a lot of them have schedules, which is also great.
Personality accomplished.
I remember I had a strategy guide that showed everybody's daily schedule, and it was like the coolest goddamn thing.
I
So
love
we
this
gotta-
game.
we gotta-
Oh, Game U?
We got it.
Let's get in here.
We gotta go. There are bikers who sit at a little table too.
Huh?
Oh, they're not
What
there
do you
yet.
want, schoolboy?
Schoolboy. We can play darts. We can play.
Get that hang on.
Hang on. Oh, hang on's in the corner over here.
Yeah, get that hang on.
I'm not good at it.
Oh, here, let me do it.
Least of all on a. Least of all on a controller. Yeah, play some.
Hang on.
Play
Okay,
some hang on. Hang on.
I'm gonna play it. Oh, also, I guess I wanna. Oh yeah, yattemiru ka.
Let's go.
Okay.
Just do 100 yen.
Yeah, let's do 200.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
We don't need 9 runs of hang on.
I love hang on.
It's a good game. I actually like Space Harrier.
Oh, 60 fips.
I like Space Harrier a little bit.
What are the controls?
I gotta
We're about to-
imagine. I don't know. You got it.
Triggers.
Yeah.
Okay, triggers and analog stick.
Yeah, it's
okay.
true. Somebody says Dad got murdered, and now it's time for us to play Space Harrier and hang on. I will find Landi.
I will find Landi.
Landi.
He's somewhere on this motorcycle
Landi
course.
killed my father. I will have revenge.
I love Hang On.
It's a really good game. Such a great arcade experience.
So yeah, for me this was, I mean, Yu Suzuki went from these games.
This is the motorcycle game, friends.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
It's not like, oh, what about this one? It's like, no, Hang On is the game.
I squeezed that turn a little
For
bit
the
there. I'm
first
sorry,
playthrough,
everybody.
somebody asked, would you recommend Japanese or English voices? I say go with English. Why not?
That's tricky.
I mean, if you want to see some of like what led to some like the weird meme culty status, I say go for it.
Yeah, I think you can play it in English for a little bit.
Yeah, I actually that's fair too. You switch off.
If you are interested in learning Japanese, this game is like some real kindergarten level Japanese. It might be very educational.
It's helped me learn a little bit of like how conversations can flow basically, and then the Yakuza games, of course. I've learned so many weird phrases from
You can
that
learn
game.
a lot of those.
You can
Yeah,
learn a lot of interesting phrases from Yakuza
idiomatic
games.
expressions.
Tons of it.
This is very like early level
Yeah.
Japanese.
Oh boy,
God dang it!
that was close, buddy.
You just go straight into the knees on the pavement here.
Yeah, that's really dangerous.
You're not gonna do this in the supermarket parking
They
lot, but you
they,
are. Hang on.
they have Space Harrier, but no Afterburner.
I love Space Harrier.
Afterburner's arcade cabinet is rad as hell.
Oh yeah.
It's big and weird. I'm pretty sure it's the one that John Connor is leaving when you first see him in the arcade in Terminator 2.
That's Afterburner too.
It's Afterburner. Oh, that's right. It is Afterburner 2. I was like, I know he's in one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Afterburner.
It's a good
Wow.
game. Oh boy. Wow.
I'm really sucking at this.
That's okay, buddy. Don't worry. It's hard. It's hard to kind of do it when you're not in the experience. Oh boy.
Yeah, when you're not actually on the.
Yeah, it's very different.
So there's actually an arcade in. Oh yeah. Hang on.
Oh, you know, you're
sort
almost there.
sort of a prototype for
It's a
Outrun.
It's a pretty tough game.
Let's quit the game.
Is the game 60 frames per second in the re-release?
Yeah, that was the arcade game was certainly 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Let me. I guess we should check out Space Harrier
You
as
do
well.
Space
right?
Harrier, you can go to any one of the many QTE games.
Ikkai 100 yen ka.
Only 100 yen.
All right, here we go. We're gonna just do it 100. Just give me that stuff. Give me that goofy stuff.
Space Harrier is bonkers. You just go
You
around.
don't
You're
understand what the
just
world is
You're
supposed
just
to
a
be.
running dude
Space Harrier is very neat.
blasting tons of dragons.
Anybody wants to have a really good time, check out Space Harrier for the Sega 32X. It is, in my opinion, the best version of the game. It's beautiful.
Love the sound effects in this.
The arcade cabinet, the screen, it's going like 100 some frames per second, and it looks incredible.
This is so nice. And you can inexplicably fly because, of course.
You can emulate 32X Space Harrier at like 144 FPS, and it looks really good.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
So yeah, this game's ridiculous. So the thing about you can use the D-pad with Space Harrier too. Okay,
yeah, I think you can.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Careful, buddy.
Basically, shoot. You're just a guy who's gone to space, and now all he wants to do is destroy every animate.
You are a Harrier who's gone to space.
I'm feeling...
You can blast stuff. You okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little disoriented with the controls for some reason.
It's a little odd. Going to a new controller for this sort of stuff always feels a little strange. I'm so used to playing Afterburner on a Genesis controller, right? That going to anything else feels a little...
Oh god, this stupid dragon.
Hey, you just gotta blast his head a ton. He starts changing color.
There's almost no feedback.
No, there's none at all. Not a lot there. Oh,
I just ate those fire blades.
Yeah, but you got them.
Those fire bubbles. Ah. This is good.
Oh god, yeah, it's I don't know. It's a fun game.
Yeah, these games are classic.
We'll walk around Debuita a little bit more, and then we'll call it a day, I think.
We gotta go learn a kung fu move or something. I died on purpose.
So I think if we talk to some folks, you can find Yamagashi-san in Debuita, and he'll teach you double blow.
Double blow.
You and me and your father used to drink sake together.
Sake? So there's an arcade in Kanagawa, which is a meticulous recreation, sort of a Disneyland recreation of the Kowloon Walled City, which is where Shenmue 2 takes place.
Try going down this left-hand street here to the park. No, over there behind you.
Okay, I'm just messing with the controls.
Yeah, the alleyway.
And in that arcade, they have, it's like clearly a Shenmue reference because they have a whole bunch of...
There's Yamagashi-san. He'll teach you some kung fu.
Oh yeah, we'll do one. So they have vintage Hang-On, Outrun, and Space Harrier machines, like very, very original ones.
So nice.
And it's clearly a Shenmue reference.
I love it. One of the neat things that I liked about learning these controls when you were doing it on the Dreamcast is that your VMU actually showed the inputs that you needed to do. Yeah. For those of you who do not know, the VMU, the visual memory unit, was the game, like the memory card for the Dreamcast, and had a screen on it. You could actually play games and manage your data as like a little handheld.
It was a cute idea. It was not a lot of games did it.
Yeah, but you could snap it into the Dreamcast controller, which had a little window, and certain games would have.
Notice this guy's drinking this cup of sake. It says "my cup" on it.
It's his cup.
That's a reference to a Japanese brand, Ozeki, which makes a little jar of sake that you can buy that's exactly 1 cup of sake with a jar lid on it, and they call it Ozeki 1 cup.
So
it's the exact same graphic design.
We come to our first moment in the game where we understand that everybody in Shenmue is actually secret kung fu master. So many people in this game will be able to teach you all kinds of
martial art
techniques.
There's his my cup, you can see.
In English, his voice, that was the double blow. They used to train together.
Oh my god.
Used to drink sake together. And then he says, I hope you and I could one day too drink sake.
Can't drink sake now because Ryo's too young.
No, he's a baby boy.
See, you learn all these kung fu moves, but
big bad baby boy Ryo.
You almost barely get a chance to use them. And then the promise is at the end of this adventure, this long adventure,
that you will finally...
There's a battle against 70 people.
Yes.
Ryo has to fight versus 70 people.
They are a biker gang called the Mad Angels.
Mad Angels.
And there are 3 sort of mini boss fights throughout that fight too. In the story mode, you have another dude fighting with you, so it's you versus them. But there's actually, the game also let you play a mode where you were by yourself against all the baddies. which was always really fun because you can just go to that mode and always get your fix of action.
Yeah.
There's not as many fights for a while. I think the first time there's anything resembling a fight is when you go to, I think it's Heartbeat's bar, and that's the scene where everybody's like, "Oh, milk for a schoolboy!"
Yeah.
It's that scene. I think a lot of people have seen that scene.
A little bit of a QTE.
It should be forward and then kick and punch at the same time. So I'm imagining forward and then square and X at the same time.
Wow, he was just telling me to move around.
Yeah, they do it bit by bit. Because he says, like, now you put out your legs and your palm. Which just
legs and palm.
Means punch and kick at the same time. There it is.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've done this.
Yeah.
You can use the D-pad in these, which is good.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, yeah, Shenmue 2 has even more moves to learn and even more things. But then all of the battles are incredibly bad.
They're
not a single one of them is good. It's like they have the whole Virtua Fighter 3 engine in here. This game is like built around Virtua Fighter. So it's like they basically have Virtua Fighter accessible to them. All the moves, everything. I think we're done.
Yeah, he's just asking you if you want to practice again. Like, also,
I don't need to practice again.
The fights in Shenmue 2 are just not as good. Like one of the final fights is like this big guy named Donyu, who is just like not fun to fight.
Yeah, I can beat that guy.
He's really big and
he's at the end of a huge long QTE.
It's a massive QTE where you fight guys going up a skyscraper.
Yeah.
And if you fail at any point, you start that QTE over again.
Yeah.
It's really, really.
And on the Dreamcast, at least, the saves took a very long time to reload.
Well, it's such a bummer because the end of the game, they wanted to do that big climactic thing before you finally go to the village. Because the village stuff is kind of pleasant, but the stuff before it's a little tricky.
So for anyone who is historically interested in this game, I'm gonna look at these controls here real quick.
They're pretty.
You use the trigger to run.
Pretty bonkers.
The left trigger to look.
Go first person.
Is that Nozomi?
No, it's not.
You press down to turn around and then up to go forward. It's like tank controls, but it kind of swishes. You don't really move the camera.
Yeah, and then
the
run is kind of.
The run is on the trigger.
It's kind of bunk, 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 bunk.
Yeah. So let's see what.
It's really weird.
Oh, it's not. What is that?
What are you trying to do? Oh, this guy. Careful.
Hit me.
I dare you.
Where's the options menu?
Hit triangle.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah. Because that's also where they have all the. So the menus are different than what they used to be because they also have like your items and your story stuff and your different moves and everything too.
Area jump. Oh, you can fast travel.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was a. It said something on the Amazon. One of the bullet points was choose between classic and updated controls.
Maybe there is. I don't know. This feels pretty classic.
Yeah, this is definitely classic controls.
Yeah, the thing now that the game wants us to do story-wise is, for the record, is like find Chinese people, ask them about them. You learn about the three blades. The barber.
All this turning in place. Like
the butcher.
Like this.
The barber, the butcher, and the tailor.
The barber, the butcher, and the.
Like the clothier.
I was gonna.
Guy who makes
try
it. There's like a.
I was gonna try to make a weird joke, but I couldn't figure out.
It doesn't really work.
The butcher, the tailor.
There's this whole thing.
And the wide ocean sailor.
When you do this too, there's this whole thing where you go to like multiple different restaurants and they're like, actually go to this barber. The game likes to pad its stuff out. There's a tattoo place there later on where you go and try and spy on a dude named Charlie.
Okayama Heights.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff.
Rio needs a drink.
Of course he does. I need a drink. Swap look and run, I think, removes tank controls, we are being told.
Oh, well, let's take
Maybe
a look.
we could give it a try. Maybe.
I'm going to get Fruta.
Oh, delicious. Grape Fruta? I would have got orange Fruta.
We're going to go for grape.
I'm not a big fan of grape
Rio
Fruta.
likes that cough medicine flavor.
Hit me up with that, says Daddy Rio.
I'm going to close that eye while I drink. So he's got this jacket, A2 Horsehide.
Yeah, he really
jacket.
goes for it.
You can get one of those for about $1,200 bucks.
Don't chug a soda. Something like that.
Yokosuka is also the place where the Yokosuka jacket was born.
It's true.
Which some people call souvenir jackets now. They're usually made traditionally of rayon. Some people got them made of silk, but they look real bad if they're made of silk.
Eventually we have to find bars. I actually know where the bar you need to go is. That's the bar where you have to find sailors.
Jazz bar.
Check out controls for a second.
Sailors love jazz bars.
Let's so it's the triangle again. I make that mistake too. I know. Swap look and run.
Yeah, let's try it.
Or does that just move them to different bumpers?
Yeah, that doesn't get rid of anything.
Is that what it is?
At all.
Oh, that's so weird. What a shame. And eventually, once it hits 7 o'clock here, it'll be officially nighttime. We'll get a little cutscene with a nice little musical ditty.
Rio will want to go to bed. Maybe I should go to bed.
Maybe
I should go to bed, is what he's going to say.
And then you have to go back to your room to save. We can walk our way back there. This was a very informal look at Shenmue, I think.
Well, I mean, there really isn't much of a more formal look at it. It's just a chill game.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do a full stream. I do sort of unofficial streams at night. We're doing Max Payne. And then I think I'll start up playing this as well because I know this game so well. I haven't been able to talk about it too great today. I feel clumsy talking. I just love it. It's.
Oh, that's okay.
I love it, friend.
Yeah, I know everything about this game myself.
It's so good.
I have a good time with it.
And then I want to get to those weird fights against Chai when he's like, "I'll tell you if you prove stronger than me."
Yeah.
Weird fucking dude. There's just like a weird Gollum funny dude. I was like, that's the back path by the park near Debuita.
Yeah, I'm just walking around.
Yeah.
Schoolboy.
Noriko. Do you know any Chinese people? I don't know, ask a Chinese person. She's probably going to tell you to go to one of the barbers, the restaurant. You have to go to Liu barber shop later.
薬局のそば? 中国の人がやってるんじゃない?
いいねさん、フグさん。
じゃあ、おじいちの他は?
She doesn't know.
わかんない. Okay, get out of my way, punk. Did you see the nerve on that jerk?
She just again, huh?
Let's take a look at graphics. Let's turn off this high-res rendering, and let's turn off the bloom. We're gonna go ahead and leave all the other.
I like
graphics.
the toggle for the UI display area, which actually just makes the little buttons at the corner a little smaller.
Oh, so there we go. We get a little bit of that Dreamcast.
If you get up close to Rio's hair, it's really fun because it's basically just like thin pixels.
Oh yeah, I love it.
There's like no definition to that hair yet because I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna go down here.
If you emulate Shenmue, often you will find that the hair looks particularly weird on emulator. If you're,
I think this looks pretty good.
I think this is nice.
Mode.
And then that parking lot there is where you can practice your martial arts.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
In English, Rio goes, "Let's get sweaty."
Yeah.
And then you can call the.
He just is incapable of going anywhere cool.
There's a phone number there, or a phone there later, where you have to call somebody to do a password thing to meet Master Chen.
So my final word on this game is at a certain point in the story. I'm gonna do this half run. It's got analog trigger run.
Yeah,
which
if you
is
just hold it a little bit,
Dreamcast.
you can do like sort of a jog.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Really, this is heck on your knees. Don't run like this.
Yeah, don't do it, dude.
So my real opinion on this game is it's supposed to, like, Yu Suzuki literally lived in Yokosuka in his teens. He's an expert in the area. And there's a certain point where the character is told that he has to talk to some sailors.
Gotta go to a bar.
And
look out for them.
You ask many, many people, do you know where I can find some sailors? Even in Japanese, he's asking if people know where you can find sailors. And it is inconceivable
that he would not know
for anyone being anywhere near Yokosuka to not know where there's sailors, because it's like the biggest port. You know,
a little bit.
It's like you should. I mean, you're 16 years old. That's some kind of an excuse.
Well, some of it's artificial, right? For the sake of having a puzzle.
I know. So what I'm saying is, games like Yakuza, they do a better job of having
Kiryu's just like, I guess we should
go
to this place. I know. And he has the little thing in Yakuza when they have the objective things in the upper right. It actually is just like in Kiryu's thoughts, which is nice.
Yeah. Shall we go back to his house? Do you want to go back to his house?
I think we shall.
Get back there before he's automatically kicked back to his house.
I think that's at 10.
Yeah.
You can start going to sleep around 9 or like 8:30.
Oh yeah.
Later on, there's a fight here against some goons, and then another dude named
Fight against a backhoe.
named Guizano
and a
shows up,
bulldozer.
and he fights you. You learn the crane. You learn like a weird crane kick there.
Not the construction machine crane, but the bird.
No, but
crane.
like a bird crane.
Love bird
He's not
cranes.
like kick like this crane. Wonderful little shrine.
Yeah, let that cat stay cold though.
Oh Jesus.
Stay
Buddy.
frosty, feline.
Buddy, don't gonna be like that. All right, let's get back up here.
Stay frosty, filthy feline.
I do like this hill. I do like going.
Oh,
up
coming down the
going-
hill into
going-
the city.
I
That was
like going up that hill too.
that was the magical classic experience way back when.
It's really nice.
Coming down that hill, and then when I moved to Japan, I remember I met several other foreigners
Who liked
during
climbing?
my first week.
Who liked climbing hills?
Well, no, they all said when they got there, they went to their Saitama grocery stores, and they were like, "Oh, it's just like Shenmue, dude. This place is just like Shenmue."
Whoa,
I met like three dudes who looked somewhat like I did, and that is the main reason why today I don't look like I did in
There we go.
2001.
We had one successful day
Yeah.
in Shenmue.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. This was fun. I'm going to play more of this game on stream, I think.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play it. I'll stream it if you all out there pay me.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Pay him.
Yeah, pay me.
This was Heather and Tim. I just like playing this game. It's good. So we'll
Good
see you guys
game.
around.
It's a quality trash game.
Yeah. So bye. Take it easy.
Wahoo! That's what I like to say. Go to bed, Rio. Put him in his bed.
Okay. Putting him in his bed.